3 simple habits that will keep you out of the doctor's office. Honestly, you don't need fancy things or complicated setups for you to be able to live a relatively healthy life. And these 3 habits that you can do will go a long way if you do them. The problem is that most people don't want to do it, or some people look at it and think that they're not complicated enough to yield any results. A lot of research shows that doing these consistently has a greater result than being inconsistent. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Laith, and I've been training thousands of people for the last 20 years in health and wellness. And recently I've decided to bring my knowledge and experience here. So what are those 3 habits that I'm talking about? The first one, which is probably one of the most underrated habits that people can do, is walking. And getting anywhere between 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day goes a very long way, especially if you do it after you eat. Once you do any physical activity, even walking, for a consistent amount of time after you've eaten makes the body more sensitive to insulin. That means the muscles will absorb more sugars that are in the system after you've eaten. And I've had a lot of videos about your total daily expenditure that you want, and you want to be as active as you can. And this has shown that it burns a lot more than people realize and adds a lot more benefit to their health. Second element of this, which a lot of people avoid, especially women, is lifting heavy shit or doing resistance training. And some of the research is showing now that even doing 30 minutes once a week can add a lot of benefit into your life. If you tell me you don't have time, that's just an excuse not to do something. If you just lift heavy shit for 30 minutes once a week, you're going to see a lot of results happen. And the other thing I've noticed with my clients especially, and one of the easiest fixes within their health and wellness journey, is getting a lot of protein in, or getting more than they should. And a lot of people think they eat a lot of protein, but once we break down and go through their food log, we notice that they're not even getting anywhere close to where they should be. Now, depending on how big you are, how old you are, and so on, you're probably going to need about 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight, or 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. So if I'm 180 pounds, I'll need about 180. And it depends on activity level and age. Thing is, the older you get, the more protein you need, because your body doesn't absorb as much protein. So you need to put in more protein into your system. But the opposite is true for most people as they get older, especially in their 60s and 70s. A lot of people expect to see results overnight when they implement new things, especially when it comes to New Year. But over 6 months to a year, if you're consistent with these, you will start to see the results. And once you start to see results, that's where momentum starts to build. And once you have momentum, motivation comes into that picture, which I've spoken at length about that. If you've enjoyed that, then subscribe or like this post and share it with people that might need to hear this. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my newsletter, which I send out once a week with information, useful information. I'd like to think it's useful, at least for most people, things that you can add into your life that will yield results and fun things once in a while. Keep in mind that YouTube seems to think that you will enjoy this video over here, so press on it here before it disappears forever and you never get to watch it. And if you do find me somewhat entertaining or useful, please press my face here and subscribe to my channel. I will greatly appreciate that. So until next week, guys, enjoy the weather, get outside, get some sunlight, and enjoy life.